What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Hangout spot where you already know it's real talk, boxing talk, live from my man cave. It's your boy Johnny, and I am your host for another live episode of the Hangout Spot Live. This time, the Thursday night edition. For those of you that rocked out with me on Tuesday, thank you for joining us, man. It was a banging ass show. We went over some future fights, the first quarter of the 2025 boxing season. We did a little bit of an overview, waiting for our guest Joseph Jojo Diaz Jr., former super featherweight world champion. When he jumped on, it was a fantastic interview. If you have not had a chance to see that interview, make sure you check it out at the Hangout spot. And today, we got another banger, man. We got another banger. We have a young, exciting, super welterweight prospect, a guy that I'm very, very cool with. I've seen a number of his fights at the Caribbean Royale. He's an excellent young fighter and a great young man. And Travius Yamz Ingram, he is 9-0 with 4 KOs. He's from Kissimmee, Florida, so he's a fellow Floridian. And I've been trying to get him on for quite some time now. In fact, I actually did a live post-fight interview with him about 2 or 3 fights ago after a knockout victory, man. And like I said, after that, I had to get him on the live because he is just an entertaining fighter. And like I said, a very, very charismatic person. I think he has a bright future in the world of boxing. So I wanted to introduce him to my audience. And we'll bring him in just a second. But you know how it is here at the Hangout spot. We got ground rules, man. If you're watching this live, make sure you smash that like button as it will help with the visibility of the channel. The goal is to get this channel out in the visibility, in the algorithm of other boxing fans so they know that we're rocking out every Tuesdays and Thursday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you have not yet subscribed to the Hangout spot, make sure you do that, man. 2025 is going to be a big year for us, man. 2024, we made our mark. 2025, we're trying to take this channel above and beyond. And last but not least, the chat is open. You know how we do it up here. While I'm talking to my guests, I want the chat to get involved, man. I definitely want you guys to get involved. It's free, but the super chat is also open as well. If you want to throw a brother a bone, I will always appreciate it. But yeah, let's get into it, man. Let's get into it right now. Like I said, this young man is 9-0, 4 knockouts. He fights under the Undisputed Promotions banner, who's also basically a boxing family to me. Shout out to promoter Anthony Arvello Jr., who shows me a lot of love at all the fights that I attend, that all his fighters fight at, mostly the Caribbean Royale. And like I said, without further ado, I want to bring in my man, Yamz.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, my brother? Welcome to the Hangout spot, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate you for having me on the show, man.
No, listen, like I said, man, to my viewers, man, this was a long time coming. I know that, I've seen about 3 of your fights already live,
Yeah.
Backstage. So we get a chance to kind of
You
chop
go
it up.
back there when I'm getting ready.
Yes, sir. I see how you get ready. And let me tell you something, man. You're 1 in 10's dude. You're a young guy, bright future. I love watching you fight. And the best part about you, man, besides your fighting ability, is you're a great young man, man. Like I said, we chop it up. You always show me love. We talk boxing. We talk about your future. So I definitely wanted my viewers to get to know Travius Ingram, man, because I think you're going to be a force to be reckoned with in the future. And again, shout out to your promoter, man, Anthony Arvello Jr. He saw something in you, man. He saw something in you.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that in a second. But first and foremost, man, what I want to do is I want to introduce my viewers to where it all started, man, the journey, for Travius Ingram. So when did you start boxing and what inspired you to start boxing?
Okay, so I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't start boxing until not too long ago, a couple years ago, really, like about 6 years ago, really. So I'm not,
Okay.
a lot of pro boxers, they've been fighting since little kids and stuff like that. But the day I can remember that I wanted to start boxing, I was like young, probably 6 or 7, and I asked my mom and my dad, I was like, hey, because I don't know, I just always took an interest into fighting and stuff. So I asked them, could I box? Because I wanted to learn, and I don't know, I just felt like I should. It was just something I felt like I wanted to do, but they told me no, because not because like I couldn't do it or nothing, but your parents don't want you to get hit in the head, stuff like that. So
Absolutely.
I forgot about it really, and then throughout life, you get in a couple squabbles, stuff like that. But yeah, I played football in college, all that stuff. So after I got done playing football in college and came back home from up north, I didn't have really nothing else to do except for finish up my classes and study and stuff. And all my life I've been playing sports consistently, so it didn't feel right to not be doing something or being active. So I took the time out of my day one day and I pulled up to a boxing gym and I walked in. I think on the first day I wanted to spar. I pulled up to Heart of a Warrior. That's where I started. Amateur fights, all that. Doyle, he helped me a lot. Yeah. So I went in there that first day and I wanted to spar and stuff. You know, but a lot of people do that and they don't know what it really takes to be a fighter. Because that same day I was in the ring, I got real tired. Like within the first round.
You realize bright and early that boxing is no joke, man,
Oh
and
yeah,
it's not
not
for
at all.
anybody. But it looks like you fell in love with it.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
It looks like the way you talk, and like I said, we've had conversations. If boxing was like it was like love at first sight when you guys finally got a chance to connect. You said something that was interesting. You started boxing late, which is again, it's not uncommon today, but like you said, it's more common for fighters to start at a young age. And you also said that you play sports. So you were a football player. Was football your passion growing up?
Oh, I loved football, but I played every sport: football, basketball, soccer. I did track. I made it to states for track, triple jump, and high jump. I played any sport you can think of, except for I didn't play baseball. I wanted to do baseball, but some sports would be at the same time as others. But if it was up to me, I play every single sport. You know, so all the skills transfer over into boxing and vice versa. Each different sport helps with the other sport in different ways.
No, absolutely, and it also helps with the competitive desire, right, to be able to
Oh yeah.
compete and win.
Oh
Which
yeah,
which
I'm
is
super
obviously
competitive.
something a boxer is born with. You have to be born with that competitive drive. But so you were born and raised in Florida?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I was born in Fort Pierce, Florida. That's where my mom and dad from. But I grew up in Orlando, Florida, and then we moved to Kissimmee, and then that's where I went to high school and stuff like that. So I'm from Florida. You could tell.
Well, I'm inherited, so I'm from the Northeast, but I've been living in Central Florida for about 4 years now. So
Okay.
we're neighbors. We're not that far from each other. I live in Winter Haven. You're in Kissimmee, and we see
Yes.
each other all the time at Orlando because most of your fights have been at Caribbean Royale, which has been a blessing for me because I work mostly all those fights, backstage with the media. But where did you? So you said that you went away for college to play football?
Oh yeah, I went up north. I went to Minnesota, way in Virginia, Minnesota, small town. Um, Shoot, right now up there it's probably like negative something degrees, but I don't like the
Most
cold. So
definitely.
I went to school up there for some years, and I still don't like the cold.
Most definitely. What position did you play in college?
I played strong safety and like an outside linebacker that comes down, and then if a receiver comes out, then you pick up on him. So you could do coverage because they mainly. I like contact, so I was one of those people who I'm coming at you head first. You know.
Yams, that makes perfect sense, man, because now it's all starting to come together because your fighting style, you fight like a linebacker. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I say that as a compliment because you like to fight. I'll never
Oh yeah.
forget after the first time I covered one of your fights and you won by stoppage and I interviewed you backstage immediately after you won. And the first thing you said was, I just like to fight. Like I wanted the fight to keep going, because I like to fight. So that whole defensive tackling, hitting mentality, it has really transferred for you in the boxing ring, man. So it's all starting to make sense. But so amateur wise, obviously transition, you didn't have that luxury, like you said, to have, 250 amateur fights like some of these other guys. How many amateur fights did you have before you
I
decided to
had
turn pro?
8 amateur fights, 6 of them ended by knockout. I really would have got all 8 by knockout, but, amateur 2-minute rounds and stuff like that wasn't enough time for me. But they was about to go to sleep right before the bell rang.
And why after 8 fights did you think it was the time to turn pro? Was it because you thought you were just ready, or was it because of an age thing?
I was about like 21 or so. So, you know, it's late for, you know, to jump in. I knew I was ready. And because of the amount of, you know, I train hard every day, running, miles, everything. You know, I put in the work, and my coach at the time, he's not gonna turn you pro. He's not gonna let you compete unless you're 100,000% ready. So I thought I was ready. He agreed with me. I'm ready, and we took on the challenges. Every fight I got so far, you know, we don't turn nothing down. Anybody who want to fight, anybody who won't smoke, if you call me out, it's gonna be worse for you because I've been beating on these people just because that's who they give me. But if you know, I don't do no talking. But if somebody wanna, you know, we can do it. I don't care.
Somebody want that squabble, you ready to rock.
Yeah. Oh yeah, most
And you,
definitely.
and you mentioned your trainer. Is Nelson Rodriguez the trainer that you
Yep.
had when you turned pro?
Oh no, no. When I turned pro, I had Doel. He got Antonio Vargas right now. So, you
Okay.
know, I appreciate them for everything they've done. But right now with Coach Nelson, Legacy Fitness, shout out to my gym. You know, oh yeah, most definitely. We put in that work every day at Legacy Fitness. So I love it there. Atmosphere, everything. Sometimes, you know, he got the lights and stuff, the music, the just everything, you know. So it's a
I've
great
been
gym.
there.
Oh
I've been
yeah.
there. It's a great gym, but you're right. It's a great atmosphere. The music is
Oh yeah.
loud. The energy is. I mean, the boxing gym is just filled with energy. Shout out to Nelson Rodriguez, man. Like I
Oh
said,
yeah.
Coach Nelson is always showing me love as well. So
Oh
shout
yeah.
out to him again. Legacy Fitness is a popping gym,
Oh yeah.
and I know that you're in good hands. But and I am here with super welterweight prospect and Travius Yamz Ingram, who's 9-0 with 4 knockouts. So it's customary for people like me, fans, right? When we see a young fighter that we're excited about, we want to compare him to other people, right? To other fighters that we've seen. But champ, and I say this as a compliment, it's hard for me to compare you to somebody because you're so different in the ring, right? Like you
Oh yeah.
can box, but you also like to mix it up, and then you can switch, stances. But if I was to ask you, like, how did you kind of like stylistically, did you resemble other fighters? Did you take pieces of other fighters, and if so, from whom to kind of hone it into your own style?
Okay, I like this question a lot because a lot of people don't really know the amount of skills I have because the only thing I've been showing people is me punching on people. But in reality, I can fight off the back foot. I can stay in one stance if I want to. No one controls me in the ring. I do what I want to in the ring. If I switch, it's not because of someone else, it's because of me. They could be a switch fighter. What someone else does in the ring, it doesn't really affect me because I adapt immediately. But with my style, I'd say I took a lot of different skills from so many different fighters because I love the art of war, and you know, it's so much things. Some fighters they was good fighting flat footed, but they couldn't move in and out. So I took that style when I do plant my feet. If I plant my feet, it's over for you because that means I'm not moving over. I'm gonna hit you. But I actually like the fight off my toes, bouncing in and out like Ali, moving around the ring. I got some great footwork that people never even seen before. Hopefully soon I'll bring it out. You know, no one has made it hard or nothing for me where I really have to like pull out some of my skills and tools. But I like I could counter punch, I could do all that. But as I said before, a lot of people haven't seen what I really can do. Only thing people know is I can switch and I hit hard and stuff like that, you know. And the crazy thing is I haven't even hit nobody hard for real. That's just me warming up. No one has really seen what I can do. So I can't wait to show it off. This year is gonna be
Well,
big.
absolutely, the sky's the limit. Well,
You
this
say what?
last guy that you fought, you showed him, and it only took you one round to show him. I mean, he went out in the first
Shoot.
round, so shout out to you. But yeah, I always wanted to ask you that, and I never asked you that question in person because I was kind of saving it for this moment when we had this interview. But what do you prefer? Do you want to be that boxer? Do you want to fight? Do you prefer to fight guys that bring it to you so you can counter? Like, what do you prefer if it was up to you?
Shoot, I don't really prefer anything because I like being able like I like having to adapt and stuff and use my skills and think, you know, because me personally, I like challenges and stuff like that. So You know, I don't like nothing easy at all. You know, when I'm training and stuff, sometimes I make it harder on myself or I limit myself. So then when it's time for the real thing, it'll be easy then. But shoot, if someone comes, mainly I just fight. I like to fight smart. If I know that someone's gonna be coming forward, I may fight off the back foot, move around, make sure they don't touch me. But also the way I fight, it depends how I feel. If I feel like I want to come wreck somebody, I'm gonna do it. But if I feel the mood of just it just depends how I feel. If I'm feeling real good and I want to like dance around and stuff like that, I'm gonna show some skill with finesse. So it just depends. I basically fight how I feel.
That's a great answer because the sign of a smart young fighter is letting the fight come to him. And it looks like again your focus is you're gonna have a plan, but you're gonna adapt, accordingly to what your opponent brings. And again, for a guy with limited amount of amateur experience and only 9 fights, that's a tremendous testament of not just you, but how you're being trained, how you're being worked. So shout out to you, man. Shout out to you big time. We got my man Yandu in the house. He's a big Yams fan. He was actually there in your last fight. Good dude. I met him. He's been rocking with me for a minute. And yes, I agree. One to watch in the future. Absolutely. I am
Oh yeah.
totally on board with that. I was hooked after I saw your first fight because, like I said, it's an entertaining style fight. And then once I spoke to you, I was like, man, this young guy, I mean, he's got something, man. He's charismatic, but he can fight, but he loves to fight. And we all
So
like that as fans. Man, we gravitate towards that. Shout out to Superwoman 607. Good evening. Thank you for rocking out with us, Florida gang. Yeah, yep. Caribbean's Caribbean's pretty much like your home now. I mean, I think
oh
your
yeah,
last
most
5 fights, right? Your last
yeah,
five fights at
I've
Caribbean,
been
right?
fighting here consistently, and I love it.
Absolutely.
The fights coming.
Oh, shout out to Caribbean, man. It's a great venue, for
Oh yeah.
boxing. I love it. They treat me like family there. So shout out to them. But tell me the whole deal of how you hooked up with Anthony Arvello and Undisputed Promotions. How did that come about?
Shoot. Before I turned pro, my last amateur fight, he had the show. He had a show where he let the amateurs showcase their skills at a big building in front of a lot of people. So I had my last amateur fight on that show with him. Brought a huge crowd out. You know me, I'm bringing the crowd with me every time. You know,
Yes, you do.
and yeah, man. So I'm coming at least a couple hundred deep every time. So yeah, we did a show on there. I showcased my skills as an amateur. He seen what I had and he seen the potential in me. And shoot, we did basically all my amateur professional fights with him and stuff like that. And now we're here, 9-0, and we ready for the next one. So I should be back in the ring real soon, sometime early February. So we're gonna see.
Nice. Nice. Well, you took one of my later questions, but yo, shout out to my man Anthony. Like I said, man, I think you're in very, very good hands. And he worked closely, obviously, with Box Lab and Caribbean. So,
Oh yeah,
good venue, good people. So it looks like you've so far in your career, the smartest move I think you've made so far is you've surrounded yourself with really good people.
oh
So,
yeah.
shout out to you. But how often? So, tell me, how often are you in the gym? What type of work? Because I follow you on social media, and it's like you live in the gym.
Oh
Because
yeah.
every day I see you in Legacy Fitness. How often are you usually in the gym?
I'm in the gym literally like every single day. Even if I can't make it to the boxing gym, I'm up early in the morning running. Shoot, after training at the boxing gym, I'm running. Um, Shoot, I'm training every day, all day. If I see if it's a punching bag somewhere around, I keep gloves in my car. I literally I live for this. Straight off of work, as soon as I get done at work, long shifts. I get straight to training. Even that's the best part to me because even when I don't feel like training and putting in work, I'm doing it. So I know what the future holds for me is going to be great. And when I'm able to just strictly be able to train like all these other fighters, man, it's over because they think they putting in work, but I'm gonna show them how it's really done.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And you've been busy. The last 2 years, I believe you fought about 7 times in the last couple of years. I think 2023 to you fought 4 times this past year, 3 times. How many
Yeah.
how many fights do you see yourself in 2025 if you had to predict?
Shoot, I don't know. Look, as long as shoot, if it's up to me, we fighting every other month. We could fight every 2 weeks, whatever you want to do. I maintain right above fight weight. So if they give me a call right now, I'm ready right now. So shoot, if it's up to me, I'm ready to fight over and over and over again. But you don't want to take it too fast. It's always you gotta elevate and go back to the drawing board. And that's what I do every single day. And after every single fight, I go right back to the drawing board because I'm never satisfied with none of my performances because I know what skills I really have.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you said something again. Again, these are things that I pick up. You're not trying to rush it. You know, yeah, I think that's a very, very good thing. You got Crypto Fire. It looks like some of your fans, family have come out, workaholic. Yeah,
Hey,
that's exactly the word that I was thinking about. Because when you posting every single day and you putting in that work, I mean, that's a workaholic. You know what I
oh
mean?
yeah, most definitely.
Eat work for breakfast. Gotta respect the activity. Absolutely, man. You gotta respect it, man. You gotta respect it. Did you
Yes, sir.
so you date when you debuted, I think it was in 2022. It was at 154.
Oh no, actually, it's crazy. I debuted my first two professional fights at 160. Um, you know,
160. Okay.
yeah, I didn't because the reason I did because remember I came from playing football in college, so I was way bigger. You
Right.
know, I
That
can I
makes
can
sense.
always move up. I can move up because I'm real strong. And yeah, I did my first two at 160, but it made more sense that okay, now that I'm mastered eating healthy and just putting in work consistently, I can fight at 154 easy, keep the strength and everything from what my regular weight and all that stuff. So it doesn't affect me. And also I'm kind of big for a 154 because I'm like 6'1", so
Man, you're taking all my questions. I mean, yeah, you're right. 6'1", which is really, really good for a super welterweight. You look good at that weight. That's why I wanted to ask you, like, how long do you see, like, are you comfortable there, right? Because you're 26 years old, right? So you're entering the prime of your career as far as your man strength, boxing wise,
oh
right?
yeah.
So do you feel comfortable enough that you feel see yourself there for a while,
Oh yeah.
or okay?
So basically, no, I feel real good. I'm literally like, I can fight tomorrow. Really, if I can fight tomorrow if they give a call. Like I'm ready,
So
and I'm
what do you
not gonna
walk
be
around? What do you walk around in between fights?
in between fights. It depends. It depends. Like, but this year I'm gonna just stay in like the 160s and stuff like
Okay.
that. But if I got a lot of time and this and that, I'm gonna be in the 70s just chilling and stuff like that. I don't want to give too much on the weight.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Like I said, but you're a hard
Yeah.
worker anyway. I mean, like I said, for somebody who's a workaholic in the gym, that's really not that much of a big deal. You're not really ballooning up. I mean, it's normal for a fighter to rehydrate whatever 20, 25 pounds, whatever it is, that you do between fights. But and I am here again with super welterweight prospect 9-0, 4 KOs, and Travius Yams Ingram. Where did the Yams nickname come from? I'm curious about that.
Man, oh man. It was something that one day I was talking with one of my cousins and stuff like that, and then he said something about like yams or something like that, and then I just took a liking to it because basically yams is whatever you want it to be. Yams could be I hit him with the yams like my hands like it's whatever you want it to be. So
No doubt.
and that basically defines me because I'm whoever I want to be, I'm whatever I want to be. When I walk into the ring, if I want to be a puncher, if I want to be a counter, but like it's just basically to me it just means like being free, whatever I want to be.
No, absolutely. I was just curious about that because, like I said, I know somebody else who refers to Yams as, or his reference to Yams is not anything near related to boxing.
Oh, hey, we might be on to the same thing, but I don't want to say too much.
I think we're on to the same thing. So
Yeah,
we're
we on
just
to the same thing.
we definitely
Yeah,
on
so
to
you
the
know about
same
Ingram,
thing.
you know about that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I know that well. Shout out to Two Tone the Superstar. I'm talking about my man, Two Tone the Superstar from the Boxing Voice. Shout out to the Boxing Voice. Nesta Gibbs, obviously, I do some correspondent Florida work for the Boxing Voice, and he also allows me to come on as a part-time co-host on the panel. So shout out to the Boxing Voice, and again, shout out to you, Chet. But so when you're not fighting, do you like to watch boxing? Like, are you a boxing fan? I like to ask all young fighters this because it's weird. I get some that say yes, and then I some that say nah, not really. So, are you a boxing fan when you're not fighting or training?
Well, I can't say not when I'm not finding a training because literally my life is training every single day, working out. Like if I don't do it, I don't feel complete as a person. But I am a boxing fan. I wouldn't say I watch boxing like every single day. Like it's certain fighters now in this age that I'll take the time out to watch them and stuff because a lot of these fighters they're not as good as they portray themselves to be. They're not really fighting tough competition. They're not willing to get in
Absolutely.
there with another prospect or another person at the same level and see who's the baddest. That's what I want. I want put me with whoever, and we're gonna see who like that for real. But I like more of the. I am a boxing fan. I like to watch the old school fighters because that's back when nobody ducked or ran from anyone. It's everybody head to head. So when my time come, whoever, if you call me out, you better be ready for what come with it. You know, so I'm not ducking nothing, and I think boxing should go back to that way where everybody fighting everybody, and the best of the best are gonna be at the top.
It's funny you bring that up because, and that's why I wanted to ask you too if you like to watch boxing, for example, like the big fights on Saturday nights or whatnot. But boxing right now, and me and one of my boys, shout out to the Maniac, the Boxing Maniac. He was on with me a couple weeks ago, and we were talking a little bit about this. But boxing is at a state right now where it's crawling. Like it can be a lot better. I think boxing is its own worst enemy because of what you just said. Right? We lack the guys willing to be great and
Oh yeah,
fight against the best fighters, right? Some fighters, it's about preserving that O. Some fighters, it's about navigating their career, trying to make as much money as they can, and while navigating the O. And we as boxing fans, we suffer because we want to see the best fight the best.
oh
And
yeah,
that's why I respect young fighters that even if they have 10, 12, 11, whatever it is, minimum amount of fights, they want that smoke. For example, Keyshawn Davis,
oh
12
yeah,
fights in. He's already fighting for a title, but he's calling out Tank 2 fights ago. He's calling out
yeah,
Teofimo Lopez, and this dude is like 10 fights in.
yeah.
You got Floyd Schofield,
Oh yeah.
who's going to be fighting against Shakur. A lot of people saying, is he ready? 16 fights. If he thinks he's ready and he wants that smoke,
Hey, that's all that matters. If you believe in yourself, you know.
absolutely. And that's another reason why I like you because you have that mentality. Like you want to fight the best, you want to fight for legacy.
Oh
I
yeah,
know boxing is a business, man. At the end of the day, I know it.
yes,
I respect it.
yes.
You guys are warriors, you're gladiators, you deserve to get paid.
Oh yeah, we
But
definitely do.
yeah, I mean, you guys are risking your lives. I mean, every time
Yeah,
you enter the
every
ring, shout
time
out to every fighter.
a lot of people don't know that, every time you step in the ring, to the outside looking in, it's excitement and stuff like that. But in reality, who goes home with you and sees what the pain and stuff from after those fights? You might look good smiling on camera and stuff, but them punches to the head, to the body, stuff like that. A lot of fighters don't make it out. A lot of fighters leave the ring looking good, brain all around, scrambled up. It's a lot that come with it. I'm willing to take the risk because this is just what I love, and I'm gonna just keep going. But a lot of people just don't know.
No, absolutely. I mean, it's a gladiator sport. There's no other sport like it. I think it's the best sport in the world.
Oh
And you
yeah.
can't play boxing. You
Oh
could play
no.
football, you could play
Oh yeah.
basketball, you can't play boxing.
Yep.
You
And I
know,
play a lot of sports, and you cannot play boxing. You play around in there, you're gonna end up jacked up bad.
Chap, I tell people this all the time. Like, there's nothing, and you alluded to it earlier. You said when the first time you sparred, you were like, "Damn, I'm so tired." There's nothing like a
Yeah.
boxing workout or a sparring session.
Yeah. And look, that's the part that's not going, like, the part of getting his this and that, not what will have you in there left for dead. Is really, can you last and have enough stamina? Because once you lose all energy and stamina, you're a dead man in the ring. So that's why running is very important. You could be the greatest fighter. If you get tired, it's over.
It's all about endurance, stamina. I mean, fighting, it's I tell people this all the time. Unless you laced up a pair of gloves, whether it's amateur, professional, whether it's just a sparring session, man, it's just a different type of respect level that you have for fighters, man. It doesn't matter what skill level,
Yep.
either. I respect every fighter that laces up a pair of gloves and steps into that ring. So shout out to you and all the fighters out there that are putting it all out on the line for our entertainment, man.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean, what are some so what are some of your favorite fighters today that you like to watch?
Today, my number one favorite is Javante Tank Davis, man,
Okay.
because
All
that's
right.
another
All right.
one that people haven't seen what he really can do. Because he remind me of myself, because it's like he gonna punch on people, and it's about that ring dominancy and stuff like that. But if he has to, he can use the skill. People don't know he really got skills. So that's one of my favorite fighters.
Absolutely. I think his skill level is people don't talk about it enough, right? They look at Tank, 30 wins or whatever it is, 28 knockouts. They look at him as a puncher. Dude, he can fight, he can box, and
Yeah,
he's a
box.
thinker, and he can
Yep.
set up traps. I give Tank nothing but respect. But here's my issue with Tank, and I'm a Tank guy,
Yes,
but
sir.
I'm also the type of fan that, I'm not afraid to say, I want more. Like, because
Okay.
I think that you can give us more.
He
Like,
can.
he's 30 years old, right? This has been my I wouldn't say this has been my little bit of a criticism with Tank. I don't
Hmm.
think people should question his resume. I've
Not
defended
at
his
all.
resume. I've defended his resume. But what's hard to defend is the fact that why is he not fighting Shakur yet?
Yeah.
We want to see him. I want to see him against the best at this point in his
Yeah.
career. And that's my biggest criticism with Tank. Do you think that's fair?
It's fair. It's 100% fair. You know, I totally understand, because right now I'm at the point where I want to fight the best. I want to put on the best shows. I want it to be those fights where people like doubting me and iffy, like, nah, I want so I can show what I really can do. But I understand 100% what you're saying, because I want the same thing. I want to see him go out there and dominate the best of the best, who we thought like, dang, he has the most like impenetrable defense so far. Well, he not really getting touched, and I want to see him dominate people like that.
I want to see him in a fight where I can truly say, hmm, there's a chance that maybe this dude can give Tank some problems. I really haven't had that person off. Like, I never had that person. I'm like, it's always like, well, I think Tank will give up the first few rounds, download data, and then eventually he's going to close the distance and bow. And that's what basically he's been doing. So, that's why I want to see him fight, the Shakurs, the Tiafimos,
Oh, yeah,
the Haneys. I know Haney isn't fighting right now, and obviously he's coming back from a loss, but his skill level, is
yeah,
still there. Um, so that's been my biggest criticism with him. I don't want him to retire, and then people come back and say, "Well, Tank was great, but he never fought Shakur. He never beat Teofimo. Like,
makes sense.
all he beat was like, Lamont Roach if he beats him, and the last guy that he fought, Frank Martin." So, that's what I want out of Tank. But I'm a Tank guy too. It's just like I said, I've been a little hard on him because of that. And like I said, I think it's okay to criticize your favorite fighters. I mean,
Oh yeah,
you're not hating on them. People
nah,
think because you want more from your favorite fighter that you're hating on. I'm not hating on him. I want him to fight the best because I think he can beat the best.
yeah, most
You know,
definitely.
but you know how it is. And I wanted to kind of get your take on it. Besides Tank, who else do you like to watch?
Shoot, I like to watch Crawford because he's a master craft skillsman in boxing. And people don't give him. I feel like they don't give him enough credit, because boom, yeah, he's a switch fighter, but he does what's necessary to win. Sometimes he do get in those firefights and stuff like that, but that's because he chooses to. Because if he really wanted to, he don't have to get hit. And that's goes for all boxers. But it's also an ego thing. That's what people don't know. Like, if you got that dog in you and stuff, and it's like, okay, he just landed this. Like, you gonna show him first before you know, take the easy route. A lot of boxers can take the easy route, and some just choose to go in and go to war.
No, absolutely, absolutely. And Crawford, like you said, he's adaptable.
Oh yeah.
He's a good guy. He's a good guy to watch in the ring. because his ring IQ is just incredible.
Crazy.
The
Yeah.
way he's able to adapt and obviously go from southpaw to orthodox, I think that's a gift from God. Do you think he's? I wasn't going to ask you this question, but since you brought up Terrence, do you think that realistically he'll ever fight Canelo? Because that's the fight that he wants. I think that's the fight that he's holding out for.
Yeah.
And it may get made now that Turkey Al Sheikh is supposedly getting involved. Do you think it happens? And if it does, what do you see happening in that fight as a fan?
Well, honestly, if it's gonna happen, it's on Canelo terms. If he wants to take the fight, or if that's the only way it's gonna
Absolutely.
happen. Well, that's what I see. It could happen another way, but that's the only way I see it happening. And
I agree
honestly,
with you.
that's one of those fights is I don't know because the IQ of both of them is so high. In different skills, it depends who got the kryptonite to the other person's skills. So you never know.
Does the difference in weight, him having to move up 2 weight classes, does that worry you?
Not really, because from my own experience, I can move up as heavy as I want to, and you know, it weight does play a different, like a distance, like a difference in depending on the person. So you never know, but I can't really speak for no one else because if he feels like that's what he could do, then hey,
Yeah, that this is a weird one for me too because usually I'm a traditional type of guy, right? I'm old school. I'm like, there's weight classes in boxing for a reason, I mean, you can't just
oh
move up 2 weight classes. So that's usually me. But for this one is weird because since Crawford is so good skill wise, you also want to now bring in the skill perspective, right?
yeah,
So it'll be interesting. I would, you know what? I don't know who I would pick unless I see them together in a face off. Then I want to see
yeah,
physics, how they look. If Crawford doesn't, and I don't think he will because Canelo's not a big guy. He's not a big 168 guy. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah. I know
So
exactly. But
I don't know about that one, man. Like I'd have to think about that. That would be one of those fights. Like let's say if they announce it that it's supposed to happen, let's say in September. Between now and then, I'll probably go back and forth like 100 times before
yeah,
then. Which is the beauty of it, right? That's what makes a great fight. When you
yep.
realistically don't know who you're supposed to, or who you think is going to win. I think that's pretty crazy. So I wanted to get your perspective on that. But we're talking about the 154-pound division, which is yours, and that division is
It's
fire
that.
right now.
It's stacked, and I love it because once I get my opportunity, I want to fight the best of the best. Nothing against nobody, no animosity, none of that. It's just I'm the type of person I want to challenge, and there's so many great fighters in 154. Like it's like, shoot, I want them all, honestly, because I want to test myself because that's just the type of person I am. I want to see where I'm at. I want to push myself.
So that's one of the main reasons why I asked you how you felt at that weight now,
Oh, I
because
feel
I
great.
wa- I would love as a fan for you to stay there because there's just so much smoke there,
Oh yeah, so
and
much.
so many big fights for you. But I mean, obviously you still have some time,
Yeah,
but I don't think that you're that far off. To be
I don't think
honest with
so
you, that's,
either.
that's just me as a fan watching, and I'm not just saying that because you my boy and you here. I honestly feel that, you know what I mean? Like Crawford successfully breaks up. Yeah, he does. But again, this is a different or I think we went over that. This one I think is a big jump for Bud, but what a fight it would be. Yeah, I mean, like I said, part of me says that there's the size difference. Yandu, I agree, and then part of me says that there's a skill perspective you got to bring into the table. So that's what makes it intriguing. But getting back to Yams at 154, what do you think right now? So I know the division is on fire, but who you consider the cream of the crop in the division right now at 154?
Huh.
It's
Shoot.
it's a, it's a good it's a there's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of great ones in
No, and
150.
we were there, Yams. We were there with Tim Zoo and Bakram.
Yeah, we was definitely there.
That's crazy,
Yeah.
right? What did you think about that one, man? Because I didn't see that coming.
Honestly, I seen it coming after the first couple punches because they didn't go well, not they. I feel like Tim Zoo didn't go in there and use his boxing ability. He came in there just want to slug it out, gladiator style, animosity, ego style. That's what I call it because he could have made it easy and did whatever to succeed to win, but he went in there swinging, and then it just take one punch. That A lot of people don't know that. It don't matter. You could be winning every round. Just take one punch.
It's the beauty of the sport, man. That's why you gotta be focused for the entire fight.
Oh
You
yeah,
know, you can't let your guard down. And you're right. I mean, I didn't see that coming into the fight, but after the
yep,
first round when he got hit, I was like, oh,
yeah,
this cannot be good. You know, because I think a lot of people didn't know who Bakram really was, what type of a
yeah.
puncher
They
he
didn't
is. But
know. He a puncher.
the arena went crazy because, like I said,
Oh
I
yeah,
think especially the people that I was sitting with, you know, we didn't expect that. Like we were all thinking that Tim Tszyu was going to win this fight, and then all of a sudden, this guy comes in and he just washes Tim.
yeah. That was
That was pretty crazy. But who do you so you think do you think Bakram right now is one of the where do you see him amongst the likes of I mean because you got a lot you got Fundora, you know, you got Crawford still there. I don't know for
yeah,
how long.
yeah.
Crawford, you got Madrimov,
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
you're
who's
right.
he's going to be
Oh yeah,
fighting against Virgil. He's going to be fighting against Virgil Ortiz on February 22nd. Um, in that Riyadh season card. I think that's going to be a great fight. Then you got a lot of other younger fighters that are coming up. Xander Zayas, you got Jesus Ramos, Erickson Lubin.
oh yeah,
So,
oh yeah.
I mean, yeah. So, who do you consider to be like the top 2 or 3 right now at 154 if you had to pick any of those guys?
I can't really pick because I it's so many different skill sets. You know, a lot of great fighters. You know, man, we just gonna have to see because I'm not the one to choose and pick. We're gonna see who's gonna be at the top when by the end of the year or the next year round, or we're gonna see who gonna be number one because it depends. We could say somebody right now, but who gonna put in that work consistently to be who they supposed to be? You know,
Yeah,
so
no, I think 2025 is going to, if we're having this same conversation at this time next year, I think it'd be even better conversation because you're right. We'd be able to kind of shape out where the division is, but more importantly, where you're standing in the division.
yeah, this year is a
Depending
big
on how
year.
2025, rolls out. But do you think that with that type of because Tim Tszyu, like I said, boxing is boxing, but he took a lot of punishment in that fight. Do you think that
Oh
he'll
yeah.
ever be the same fighter? Do you think that he can recover from something like that and become a champion again? What do you think?
Honestly, when people boxing is a sport where um if you get hit a certain way, either you're gonna dig deep inside and come back and shake back, or you're gonna be like, I don't know if it's for me. So it's up to I can't really say because it depends on the inside of the fighter's heart of what they're gonna do. If it was me and I felt like I took too much punishment, this and that, I'm the type like I'm coming back for everything. Like it's gonna turn me up. Like nah, I'm not going out like that. So it depends. It really
So if you
depends.
were Tim, you would have wanted that immediate rematch right after that?
Heck yeah. Shoot, after they clear me, I'm training 10 times hard. Like, nah, I'm not going like that.
Nah, that's what's up. That's what see what I'm saying. The heart of a champion, the heart of a lion, man, the heart of a champion. That's what's up. Nah, it's like I said, it's a stacked division. I was just talking about Virgil Ortiz against Madrimov. I mean, Turkey
Right.
Al-Sheikh is putting together this incredible card on February 22nd. I don't know if you had a chance to peep that card.
Oh yeah.
Um, but I mean, like 7 fights for like $26 or $27 or something like that, that he's going to be
Yeah.
charging the American public for pay-per-view, which is absolutely insane. But one of those fights is Virgil Ortiz against Israel Madrimov. Obviously, Israel Madrimov just lost his version of the title to Terrence Crawford his last fight in a very, very good fight. You know, a
That
lot
was
of
a great
people had that fight very, very close.
yeah.
Um, including myself. But how do you see that fight playing out? Virgil against Madrimov, stylistically.
Oh man, it depends who takes control from the beginning. That's really what it all depends on. Whoever takes control, or if someone takes control, whoever can make the right adjustments and adapt. That's what it's really about. Is whoever takes control first, because a lot of people can't. After someone takes control, a lot of people can't adapt to stop it. But if you're that skillful, which they both skillful fighters, they gonna man, it's gonna be a great fight. We're gonna see who can adapt, take control, all that. So, sorry for these type of answers, but that's just how I think.
No, listen, it is what it is. No, definitely. They're tough questions, and I know I'm trying to put you on the spot a little bit here. Hopefully, You don't resent me for that. I think it's a good conversation. Like I said, you're a smart guy. You know boxing, so I want to kind of get your insight. On but I know I totally get that. Yandu has Charlo. Charlo's another guy
Yeah, he
that I
coming back to
mentioned.
154.
He's coming back, man. That's right. And
Right.
most people are gonna say that he's still the guy since technically he didn't get beat
You're
for
right.
any of those straps at 154. So that's an interesting one. Fundora also, because Fundora to me, I mean, he's a freak in nature, 6'6" or whatever it is, and long reach, but he fights in the inside. He doesn't fight like his size, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Which is crazy. But yeah, man, listen, I say all of that to say that you are in a stack division where it's all there, man. You keep putting in that work, man, and you can take Yams to the next level.
Oh yeah,
I
and
mean,
that's the overall goal. You got to
yeah,
set the goals and achieve them one by one, small step at a time. And it took me a while to learn that instead of jumping towards big stuff, big stuff, big stuff. It don't work like that. You got to take the small wins, and all the small wins will lead you up to the big success. So my first goal was turn pro, then to get on the big pay-per-view like the zone and stuff like that. Now I'm there. Then the next goal was 10-0. So I'm finna knock that out the park. I'm 9-0 right now. We're gonna crash the doors down 10-0. Then from there, anybody who won't smoke at 154, if you feel you could beat me, if you feel like I'm not good enough, if you feel like now I'm slacking, come on and show me. And we're gonna see. Because a lot of fighters don't know what skills I bring to the table for real.
for real, man, for real. So let's say you again, this may be a tough question, maybe not, but if you could play promoter, like how many more fights do you think that you would say I realistically need or want to get under my belt before I'm ready to challenge for like a title?
Honestly, you know how boxing goes. The people with the titles, they don't go and fight the people who up next for them. They'll try to call someone like me out sleeping. So I'm ready. Like I'm ready for whatever comes to the table. If the opportunity comes to me, oh yeah, let's fight him. This and that. He got a good record, and it'll look like yeah. Call me out. Do what you got to do. I'm coming for all the smoking already. Or if I got to work my way up and kick the doors down myself, we just gonna keep punching through every single body they line up in front of me because I'm not turning nothing down. Anybody who won at 54, we can get it. I keep punching through, and they're gonna have to give me my shot once the rankings gonna show for itself. If I'm just cleaning up people and working my way to the top, you can't deny me when I'm up there in the top, in the top little bracket spot. So and I'm
Yeah,
getting there. Look me up. You can see I'm getting there.
absolutely. Sometimes you got to have that mentality that you got to get to that door and you be willing to break that door down if they don't
Yeah.
want to let you in. You're
Oh
gonna
yeah.
get in. Hopefully, Anthony's listening. If you're listening, Anthony, maybe hopefully you're listening, man. We gotta get my boy ready, like soon.
Oh yeah,
We
no,
gotta
he
have
already
a plan and a
know, 'cause,
blueprint.
we a team, Undisputed Promotions, man, and we coming for everything. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a big year. We're gonna show up and show out all 2025, and then if it don't come this year, 2026, the doors getting kicked down. Still, we kicking doors all the way until we at the top.
I love it. I love it. If let's play a hypothetical. I'm gonna throw a hypothetical question at
Okay,
you.
let's do it.
What's in the future? What's your dream fight? What's a fight that you say I want that fight one day against this guy?
Honestly, as of right now, I really don't have a dream fight. To me, the dream fight is fighting all the best of the best, all the biggest names. Some people dodge each other and stuff. That's my dream fight is to get all the big, toughest, hardest fights. And as long as I put in the work that I need to do, I'm gonna succeed. you know, you better come with your best, your A game, and you better get it while you can. Because if you don't get it, I'm gonna take it. So yeah, I don't have a dream fight. My dream is to be known as one of the best and build my legacy because I have a son, and I want him to be able to look, and be able to go to school or whenever he wants to, and just say, "I'm named after my dad. Look what he did, this and that." And I want him to be himself. So I want him to anything he want to do, I support. I'm gonna support it 1,000%, and I'm gonna tell him like I say all the time: if you got a dream, go for your dream. It could be whatever you want. So just go
That's
for
what's
it.
listen. That's what's up, and shout out to your baby boy and
Yes,
your
sir.
family. I mean, one thing that I love about you is after your fights, the first thing is you want the baby boy in the ring with you. You know what I mean? You want him in there with you. You want him to, you want him to feel the moment, savor the moment. You always have, like you said earlier, you come deep with a lot of family and friends. I've been around them.
Yeah.
After the
Oh, yeah.
fight, the energy is great. So shout out to all your family, man, and God bless the baby boy as well.
Oh, yeah. Most
Um,
definitely.
he has a tremendous role model in you. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
um, so he's gonna be a lucky, lucky boy. As he gets older. But what do you like to do when you're not fighting, man? When you're not training, what are your hobbies, man? Tell me, what do you like to do? Let's talk a little
Okay.
bit about you outside of the ring.
Outside of the ring. Well, my main thing to do outside of the ring when I'm not training stuff is really just I like to spend quality time with my son. I just want him to know that I love him and stuff. That's number one for me because this is my first time being a father, stuff like that. So I want to savor the moment and stuff. And then now I have my reason why I fight. Because a lot of fighters, some have it because of this and that, or some don't have a reason to fight or something that pushes them. Because at first, for a long time, I didn't have a reason why. My dad used to always ask me, "Why you fight? What are you fighting for?" Obviously everybody want to provide for their families and stuff like that. But now I have my legit reason why. So that's number one. That's what I like to do when I'm not training stuff because I do sometimes rest. Or sometimes my other hobby is I make music. I like to record and stuff. I haven't
Okay.
dropped anything in a while, but I'm gonna get back on it right now. I'm just the mango fighting, boxing, elevation. Sometimes I play the game, and stuff like that. I don't really play too often like I used
You
to.
talking about what, video games, gamer?
Yeah, sometimes, those are my
Yeah,
top 3. And then one of my other hobbies is like playing instruments. I used to play the guitar and stuff. I actually want to get back into it. Um, but right now, once I get done with this main goal off the checklist, then it's back to the side goals.
that's what's up, man. I was gonna ask you that question, like, what is a hidden talent, that people don't know about you? So I guess it's you make music,
Oh
you're
yeah.
you're a musician, you play the guitar, which I think is pretty fascinating, man.
Yeah, the hidden talent is playing the guitar. People know I make music and stuff, but people don't know I can play the guitar, I can read music, I do a lot of stuff. Technology, I'm great with technology, everything. Like anything you could think of. I'm one of those people who could just anything I want to do, I can do it.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. You see, I learned something about you today that I
Yes, sir.
didn't know. But if you weren't so if you were not boxing, do you think that you'd be into music full time, or what would you be doing if you weren't fighting?
If I wasn't fighting, I'd probably be more pushing towards the music. But if not the music, I'd probably be doing something with technology somewhere, or I'd probably be teaching the youth or helping with skills and stuff, or just trying to motivate people, because I've been that in a position where it's like I feel like you nobody not trying to motivate you. My dad, my mom, family, they push me, but other people not believing in you. And there's nothing really special about me other than I just train hard and put in the work. And there's a lot of people with great talents who just don't have the motivation and stuff or just the willpower to just keep going because it's easier to give up. But if you just keep going, man, I promise you, you'll succeed.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Another thing that I do know about you, and this is from someone else that I heard, is that you're a mentor because little bro is a fighter, just turned pro,
Oh,
not
yeah.
that long ago. Prime time, you
Yes,
know,
sir.
Xavier Mitchell. Shout out to Xavier Primetime Mitchell. So I interviewed him before his pro debut. And
Uh-huh.
I mean, the pro. He obviously he lost his pro debut, which is fine. I mean,
Oh,
things
yeah.
happen. You know
I'm
what I'm saying?
good.
Yeah, yeah, things happen. At the end of the day. So shout out to him. And I just heard
Course.
that he got a new fight. He got a new fight that
Oh,
just
yeah.
got announced. He's gonna be fighting in March. So you get right back into it. There's plenty. And I told him this after the fight. There's plenty of great fighters that have lost their first fight. You learn from it. You get better. That's what boxing is. It
That's
tests your
fine.
mental fortitude. So shout out to him. He went right
Oh,
back
yeah.
at it. He's getting right back in the ring. But I say that to say that he spoke nothing but highly of you during our interview. I don't know if you had a chance to see it, but he considers you a mentor, someone that he can come to, for advice. So, shout out to him. But how's he doing? Is he good?
Oh yeah, he's doing great. He's training hard every single day, and like I told him, man, you got your dream. Don't give up on it, and go 10 times harder than you ever. Go as hard, go harder today, the next day than you did yesterday, because you always can. Everybody can. That's how I feel every day. I go hard, I train hard every day, and I always feel like, dang, I could have went harder, and then I go harder the next day, but that's a part of progression. So,
Absolutely. Progression in the ring and progression in life.
oh yeah, most
And that's
definitely.
one of the things. Boxing teaches you life lessons, man. It
Oh
tests
yeah,
your
most
mental fortitude,
definitely.
your drive, your desire. Sometimes you're gonna want to give up because
Oh
boxing
yeah,
isn't easy, isn't it, for everybody? So I'm happy that he's getting right back into it. When you see him, make sure you give him my best.
yes sir.
Little bro is always going, he family, you know what I'm saying? Anytime anybody comes to the hangout spot, y'all family. So
Yes
you
sir.
family already. But no, this has been a fantastic interview, man. We've been trying to make this happen for a little while, and I'm glad we finally made it happen. But why don't you let my viewers know if they ain't following you on social media, where they can follow you, champ?
Oh yeah, you can follow me on all platforms. AD got Yams. Shoot, or you can just look up my name, Travis Ingram, and then you'll find me. You know, um, hey, just keep pushing. That's all I really can say is just keep grinding hard. I appreciate you for having me on the show. I don't really talk much. A lot of people don't even know what it sound like when I talk. So, hey, you got a lot out of me today, and now people can know a little bit about me because most people don't really know nothing other than I fight and I'm a boxer. So that's
That's
it.
that's the whole point, man. Because like I said, I've had conversations with you, and I wanted my viewers to kind of get to know you as a fighter because I think you're going to be special down the road.
Yes,
And
sir.
and I no, listen, it's an honor to have you here. You know what I'm saying? Chopping it up with me. Hopefully you felt comfortable and we were able to do this up. I can't wait to your next fight. I did not ask you this, but I think you alluded to it earlier. When are you expecting to get back into the ring?
I'm ready right now, but I'm expected to be back in the ring sometime, hopefully February. If it's up to me, I'm ready to go. So whenever a date comes or I get that call, you know me, I'm not ducking no action. Whoever they put in front of me, somebody got to go. It's boxing. Just take one punch. Anybody can go, but my mentality is I'm not going. So hopefully we in there February.
And hopefully it's in Florida in the Caribbean Royale because then I'll
Oh,
be
yeah, and
covering.
that's another thing. That's another thing. I be telling people, come watch me while you can, because once they start sending me here and there, I'm gonna keep the same energy. It don't matter where I'm at. If I got 1,000 people with me, 0 people with me, I'm coming to fight because it's only me and whoever in front of me in that ring. Once that bell ring, and I'm not going. So you better catch me while I'm here in Florida. Hopefully one day I can be the big main event and we could bring it to the Kia Center and do it big, because boxing is starting to transfer down here in Florida more and stuff. So that's why I want to do. That's my main goal: get people back into boxing, make boxing great again. The big fights, whoever y'all want to see me fight, whatever, I'm ready for whatever.
No, listen, champ, I'm always gonna be in your corner. You know
Yes, sir.
that. You my guy. I'm always gonna be in your corner. You're always gonna have my support. I definitely want you to come back.
Oh yeah.
Get a fight announced, you come back here, we'll chop it up a little bit again. But you're welcome anytime. Like I said, you family to hangout spot. So
Yes,
you're gonna have to come back whether you like it or not. But listen, this has been an absolute blast. Make sure you give my best to Anthony. Make sure you give my best
oh
to
yeah,
Coach Nelson.
sir.
You know, those are my guys. And yeah, I'll catch you at the next fight. And I'm gonna be following you. So when your next fight gets announced, make sure you tag me so I can put it up on
Oh yeah,
social media
most
and we get
definitely.
the word out. You know how we do it up here.
All 2025, we doing it big. So hey,
Chap, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming on, man.
all righty.
All right, man. Take care.
Yes, sir. You too.
All right. You got it. So there you have it, man. Super welterweight prospect, man, extraordinaire, man, and exciting, and a very exciting young fighter. And Travius Ingram Yams, he's the man, man. And like I said, I've seen him fight in person, at least 3 times already, possibly 4 times, and he's entertaining. He's smart. He's adaptable in the ring. And you heard in the interview, he has the heart of a champion. he wants to be great. And that's the best thing that I love about him. And like I said earlier, he's in good hands, man. I mean, he's been training in, Legacy Fitness, Coach Nelson Rodriguez. Shout out to Coach Nelson Rodriguez. Florida Boxing, man. I just want to give Florida Boxing a huge shout out, man, because Florida's on fire. In 2024, Florida made its mark. Box Lab Promotions, Undisputed Promotions, Caribbean Royale was putting on great shows. 2025, the sky is the limit, and I will be there. I will be there live and direct, God willing, for everything that happens there. Another big figure in Florida boxing is Pro Box. They are doing it up. That's my boxing family as well. So shout out to them. But I'm excited. Like I said, anytime I get a chance to meet exciting young fighters, that inspire to be great, that have, the skill level to be great, it's always a good thing to get up here in the hangout spot. But this was a great interview. Yeah, Yandu, I appreciate you, brother. Yes, he's keeping that activity up. I don't see anything less. If I had to predict, I don't see anything less than 3, possibly 4 fights for him in 2025. That's the way they're moving him. They see a lot of big things. I know I've had conversations with Anthony on the side. We see big things for Yamz, and they're trying to move him up the ranks as possible, as quick as they possibly can. They don't want to rush it, but they also know that his skill level is probably going to dictate that more than likely earlier than later. They're going to try to get him in there against the big boys because, like I said, I think he can hang at 26 years old. I think the sky's the limit. Yeah, absolutely. I know you'll be there, and I'll be there as well, covering, as a member of the media. And that's what's most exciting, right? Because, when I moved to Florida 4 years ago, there wasn't a lot of boxing that was going on in the state of Florida, not like it's going on now. I mean, Caribbean Royale is basically on fire right now. I mean, there's cards almost every month, and shout out, like I said, to my man, Eric Enrique, Amari Piedra, Caribbean Royale, Box Lab Promotions. I mean, this year they're going to be collaborating. I think the next card that they're going to be co-promoting is with PBC. That's going to be, I believe, February 15th. Elijah Garcia against Terrell Goucher. That's going to be the main event on that fight card. That is a PBC, like I said, a PBC / Box Lab promotion. They're going to be co-promoting that. Hopefully I'll be there for that one, February 15th. And then Pro Box, we spoke about that on last episode. Pro Box TV is going to be coming back for 2025. Friday, January 24th, main event, light heavyweight prospect Najee Lopez is going to be fighting in the main event. And in the co-main event, you have middleweight prospect Darrell Blast Valsaint. Both guys undefeated. Both guys fight under Mark Foray, trainer. He is best known for training the chosen one, Edgar Berlanga. He is both of their trainers as well. And they're going to be fighting the main and co-main event Friday night, Plant City Pro Box Event Center in Tampa, Florida. I will be there. I cover all the Pro Box fights, and they're family to me. So I'm looking forward to getting back into the swing of things. I haven't done a live fight since December 13th at Caribbean Royale, and that was the WBC convention. They held a card on December 13th where Antonio Vargas won an interim WBA bantamweight title that night, and hopefully big things ahead for him in 2025. They're looking to get him a title shot against the WBA champion out in Japan. So Box Lab is actively working to get him out there, to get that world title and bring it back to the United States. Antonio Vargas is an exciting young fighter who I interviewed about a month and a half ago. It was probably about 2 or 3 weeks before his interim title bout, December 13th. So if you have not seen that episode, make sure you check that out at the Hangout spot, as well as all my episodes, live, recorded, live interviews, during fight nights that I cover as media. I mean, the channel's popping. If you have not hit that like button, make sure you hit that like button. If you're watching the recorded version of this, make sure you smash that like button. We're trying to get this channel out to the visibility of other boxing fans so they know that we're rocking out every Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you have not subscribed to the Hangout Spot, and if you have not told a friend to subscribe to the Hangout Spot, shame on you. Tell a friend and tell a friend. We intend to make this small train into a locomotive in 2025. We can't do that without more subscribers and more followers. The more subscribers we get, the more bigger names that we get on the channel, on these live shows for interviews. Speaking of big names, I'm going to throw out a spoiler because next week next week we're gonna have a legend. We're gonna have a legend on with us. And if you guys know boxing and you know female boxing, pioneers of female boxing, Hall of Famers, it doesn't get any better than the coal miner's daughter, Christy Martin. Next week, we're going to have Christy Martin on Thursday night, more than likely next Thursday night at 9 p.m. So, again, if you have not subscribed to the Hangout Spot, make sure you do, because 2025, we're going to do it up big here, man. I ain't lying. We taking this to the next level, but I can't do that without my followers, without my supporters. So I definitely appreciate all of you for watching, for tuning in. Yandu, all my other people in the chats, I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. So yeah, so that's what we're doing next Thursday. We'll have Christy Martin here. She's going to talk about her great legendary career. Again, women's boxing right now is on another level, but she was one of the original pioneers, and she was doing it when women's boxing really was more of a gimmick than anything else. But Christy Martin was on Tyson undercards. She was doing Don King, big time Don King undercards with Tyson when he was the main event, and she was just knocking females out. And now she's a Hall of Famer, and she was gracious enough to accept my invite to the Hangout Spot. So she'll be with us next Thursday. That's going to be a phenomenal interview. So make sure you put it on your calendar. Next Tuesday, we're still working on a guest, but right now I have something that I'm thinking about. I think that'll be a little bit different for next Tuesday. So make sure you're on board and you are tuned in. My brother, Boxing with Chris. Salute to you, brother. Thanks for checking in, man. Thanks for checking in. Well, you already know how we do it up here. Yes, absolutely. Christy is one of the OGs, man. She's one of the best to ever do it. She's one of the most entertaining fighters. And like I said, I chop it up with her all the time, at live fights. And I think it's going to be a great story. You know that somebody's great. And I said this to Stitch Duran when I had Stitch Duran, legendary cut man, the GOAT of all cut man. I had him on a couple weeks ago. If you have not seen it, make sure you check it out at the Hangout Spot on the channel. But when I had him on live, I told him, I said, you great. You're a legend when you either get a biography or a movie about your life. That's when you like next level great. And Chrissy Martin just had a movie that was released, I believe, on Netflix. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about her career, how it got started, what she's doing now. Obviously, she has, she owns Christy Martin Promotions. So she's in the promoting game. One of her best fighters is a close friend of mine, Tony Aguilar, lightweight contender. He's I've had him on the channel last year. He's a good friend of mine. And she promotes him as well as some other fighters. So we'll get into her promoting career, her post-fight career in the world of boxing. But like I said, it doesn't get any bigger than her. So make sure next week you put it on your calendars. This is how we do it up here every Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9 p.m. At the Hangout Spot. And yes, sir, Tony he's a good watch, another entertaining fighter. Who I think has a really, really bright future in the lightweight division. But anyhow, listen, this was a great show. I appreciate all of you guys that tuned in, rocking out with me. Great guest, Travius Ingram. And at the end of the day, make sure you continue to follow, tell a friend to tell a friend. But when it's all said and done, again, I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. Make sure you continue to tune in 2025. As always, this is your boy Johnny. We are signing out from the Hangout Spot Live, and I will talk to everybody very, very soon.